start doing
This place was built for music, so we're trying to help.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Corruption and inefficiency. Corruption at the Hollywood Police Department. Since July 2020, I have called the police 7 times, all related to the same case. Out of the 7 times, 5 of the reports have been incomplete where material facts have been omitted. In one of the 5 wrong reports, the officer flat out lied. But because I have a video and I was able to prove he lied, the report was corrected. In 2 reports, the reports where material facts were omitted, I sought to have the reports corrected to include the material facts, and they were also corrected. The other 2 reports remain incorrect. In one of those 2 cases, a sergeant called me to tell me he did not even understand why he was being asked to call me, since he is not the supervising sergeant of the officer I stated failed to include the material facts in the report. I have emailed the sergeant, but he does not respond. He told me he would be updating my report, even though I told him that would be ineffective because he was not the one who witnessed what I needed documented. Yes, I am being ignored. In the other case, a sergeant told me that he was not including the facts because, in his belief, and I have this in an email, it was not an assault. When I replied to the email stating that a law enforcement officer is not to inject their opinion when documenting material facts, since it is for the judiciary to reach legal conclusions, that sergeant never replied. I wrote to him again asking for his supervisor's name, but about 4 weeks later, I am still waiting for a response. Yes, I am being ignored. Let's talk about the neighborhood team leader program. First, I had to wait almost 2 weeks for my neighborhood team leader to respond to a sergeant's request that he help me. The eve before our scheduled appointment, the officer canceled by way of an email telling me that no crimes had been committed and that code compliance had taken care of the matter, which they had not. More on code compliance in a bit. My pleas for assistance were ignored. He was both judge and jury. Before you pass judgment on me and think I'm a cop hater or some anti-police organization member, please know that last year, predating any of these movements, in November of 2019, I also experienced the corruption of the Hollywood Police Department firsthand. In any event, that corruption served as the impetus for complaints, 3 against officers, 2 against sergeants, and 1 against a lieutenant. Everything was allegedly covered up all the way to the top. As an aside, I have always held the police on a pedestal. That was until I moved to Hollywood and saw the corruption of this department firsthand. In this case, in 2019, one of the officers I filed a complaint against provided a tip-off to the person I called the police on so that that person could come after me when I was the victim from the inception. I am a licensed attorney in Florida and a certified teacher. I always identified with the police, generally thinking we were on the same team, always striving for the public's welfare. That was until I learned the police code and learned about the coined phrase, the brotherhood of silence. Granted, I know there are good officers which comprise the majority. Code compliance, corruption or inefficiency, or maybe both. The issue that I'm having has both criminal and civil undertones. More specifically, 2 city ordinances have been violated by the person who I have called the police on. When I wrote to Help Me Hollywood, I was told that code compliance would assist me. In one of the 2 cases, I was even given a case number, and
I believe your time is up. I heard the buzzer.
Oh,
Thank you.
can I please,
can I
can I please wrap it up?
Commissioner?
Yes.
If you're,
I'll address some of this.
Okay.
Can I please wrap it up with a
Hang
conclusion?
on one second. You can't wrap it up. But I will give you, some time to address what the issue is and not your complaint.
Okay, well, I don't really want to get into the weeds of the details because I don't want to come across as I'm shaming the person who's doing this to me because they also reside in Hollywood. So out of a great deal of respect to that person, even though they have wronged me, I'd rather not speak to the details publicly.
So if you feel it's just shaming, then it's nothing criminal.
No, because it
I'm just-
it could be taken that way, because I already spoke to generalities in another forum without mentioning names, and I was, this individual said that I was publicly shaming him, so in an abundance of caution, I am withholding the
Okay.
details.
That's fine. I read the next door posts.
Yes, thank
Okay,
you.
so I was curious if this what it was.
Correct.
You are out of time. If somebody else wants to address it,
Yeah, and-
that's fine.
Well, I'll
But
just
you
say
should have
this,
spent
if I
more
may.
time with the issue, not with the complaint. The complaint could be emailed to any of us.
I'm going to ask you two questions. Do you know what district you're in?
I don't really know. I believe it's District 3.
Where do you live?
I live in
Without
Holly-
saying just generality.
Yes, of course. I live in Hollywood Hills.
Okay, then you're either District 3 or
It could be
District.
District 6. Do you live on south of the boulevard, south of Sheridan?
She lives near you.
Well,
Okay, anyway, the question is, the police chief is here. You may want to take a few minutes to speak with him. If not, contact the commissioner that represents you, and they will set up a meeting in order for you issue to be addressed.
okay, I don't know because I haven't been active. I'm very active, like politically. If you Google my name, I teach, and so I speak at the school board quite often. But I was told, and I hate to say this, but this is the truth. When I was told to complain or to bring my concerns to the commission and to the mayor, I was told that it probably wouldn't help because my commissioner is married to an officer, and that could be a
100%
conflict.
correct. That is 100% correct.
Okay, yeah.
But
so-
I am not a biased person, so.
Oh, okay.
If you have a problem, you need to speak to your commissioner. I'm the person. We will make an appointment and we will discuss it, and I will try to get you the help you need.
Okay, so should I email you directly?
Because that's the one thing I will not stand for. I respect officers, I respect my husband, and I respect every person that puts themselves in that position. But what I do not respect is injustice. So.
Thank you.
You will come to me, we will take care of this. This is not the forum for it, but I thank you for coming out. Please make sure you get your information, and I will be in touch with you.
Thank you. My name is Thais Alvarez.
Thank you.
We'll get your information here.
Thank
Dave.
you so much for your time and assistance.